Hello, I'm Robert, a volunteer fact checker and helping you if you're scared of many things. And this is another video in my series of videos about Discord, which is rolling out age verification globally. And the people that I help worry that Discord's aim is to try and get hold of your real life name or your photo of you, your selfie, and details like this. So if you just step back a little bit and look at how they're doing it, it's very clear that this is not the Discord's motivation whatsoever. And they are just like you. They want to preserve privacy as much as possible, and they would very much prefer not to ever let anyone see your selfie or your government photo ID. And Discord, from its first rollout in United Kingdom and then in Australia, then it is now very confident that it can assess most people as being adult without asking for any of that information. So that is their top priority. And then if you look at the main partner they have, then that's KID, which does the age verification for them. And the selfie is kept on your device, and it just analyses the pixels in a way that it's completely different from the way humans estimate the age, but it actually is more accurate than the way humans do it. And all that is done with software on your device itself running in the browser. And so that again is to do with protecting your privacy. Then if you look at how KID does it, then you show your your photo ID has to be uploaded to KID's servers along with your selfie. But all the KID does is it looks at the birth date on your form and it looks at the photo, checks the photo, matches the selfie, and then it doesn't even record the birth date. It just records pass or fail as to whether you're 18 or over or not. It does not have access to your username on Discord. It doesn't record your real name. So all it has is an anonymized ID that it creates itself randomly, which it then associates with pass or fail, and it uses this anonymous ID to communicate with Discord. Discord never even looked at your photo ID even for a minute, and Discord software, I mean, no human being is involved in this at all. And then Discord's software then associates the pass or fail with your username on Discord. So this is extraordinarily privacy preserving, as you can see. There's no risk whatsoever. So then the next thing that happened is that just for a short period of time, Discord used this other, quite an old company, go back to 2018, called Persona, that is well established in age verification. And Persona gives the option of doing fraud detection. So Persona can pick up all the other fields from your photo ID, and then it can use those to check against government databases to check if you're a real person. So, but that is optional. And Discord told Persona it doesn't want it to do that fraud detection, and it told Persona to blur everything except the photo and the date of birth before it even looks at the photo ID, to make absolutely sure that Persona can't do any form of data mining. And then it asked Persona to keep the photo for 7 days, and this is likely for debugging, because like maybe it says it finds that Persona is only doing 90% and KID is doing 99%, and it might say to Persona, look, try running your software again, it's not working very well. You know, that sort of debugging. As a programmer, I did quite a lot of programming in my lifetime, then that seems a likely reason why they do that. It's probably not. Anyway, whatever the reason, this experiment is now over, and if they might use Persona in the future, I think they would only use it probably if they get a big surge of age verifications And they would say on their page, if they're using Persona or any other age verifier at the time, and they would probably require it to delete the information straight away if they do use it like that. But anyway, irrespective of how they actually want to use it, I talked about that in a longer Persona video. Then why would anyone say there's any connection with Peter Thiel? And why would they say that somehow ICE could get hold of your details from this? Because nobody can get hold of your details, not even Persona. So this is utter garbage, and I will explain how they came to this extraordinarily false conclusion. So, first of all, true, Peter Thiel is... so what has Peter Thiel got to do with all this anyway? So he is the CEO of Palantir, which is a completely different company that has nothing to do with Discord. And it's been accused by Amnesty International of unethical practices. That's back in 2020, and they said it wasn't careful enough about how their services are used by ICE. So they provide data services to ICE and also to other situations where there's no problem with their data services. It sometimes does good things, but with ICE, they just not accused of trying to make ICE work. They are accused with just trying to make money and not being too bothered that ICE is going to pay them well to use their data in unethical ways. Peter Thiel, turns out he is not in support of Trump. He's opposed to Trump. So this is not political. He supports some Republicans but not Trump. But he just doesn't care too much as long as someone is paying plenty of money to let ICE use the Palantir data services. So that's what he's accused of. Persona, but Persona's got nothing to do with this. Persona wasn't set up by Peter Thiel, and Persona has no connection with ICE and no connection with Palantir. It's no different from, say, PayPal, Facebook, SpaceX or Airbnb. And they all have Founders Fund, and nobody would say that because Founder Fund invested in PayPal, that therefore your details that PayPal has are not safe. Have you ever heard anyone say that? And that you risk PayPal leaking your details to ICE? Has anyone ever said that to you? Nobody does. So this is just a similar bizarre, impossible, stupid, utterly garbage line of reasoning. If you believe this, you would have to stop using PayPal. You'd have to stop using, especially PayPal. That's very commonly used, and very commonly people do upload lots of details to PayPal. So true, Persona is no different from, say, PayPal, Facebook, SpaceX or Airbnb. And true, Persona does offer data mining if the client wants it. I mentioned that at the start of this video, but only for fraud detection and only if it's asked to. False. Discord did not let Persona do any data mining. So there's no way for your data to get to anyone via Persona. So I think that basically is it. I've essentially explained why this is all utter garbage. I'm not sure, is there anything else I even need to look at now? You can read this in detail. Oh yes, so just about these two sections, I've gone through all that pretty well. These two sections. So Peter, right. Founders Fund did invest a few percent in Persona, but it was two rounds, round C and round D. In both of those rounds, then Founders Fund invested 10%, less than 10%. Founders Fund is not Peter Thiel. Founders Fund is an investors fund that invests money in order to make profit. And it is willing to take risk by investing in lots of up-and-coming tech companies, which specializes in that sort of thing, and often makes huge gains by investing in the right company. So it's all for the purpose of making money. And it invested in Persona in some fraction of 150 million in round C, and that bought 10%, and then it was the lead investor there, and then round D, some fraction of 200 million, which then bought it 10% of 2 billion. So you can see between round C and round D, it's 150 million became say it invests 100 million in round C, then say it invested 75 million in round C, it would be worth 100 million by round D. So that's why it does this, to make money. But it's not this leading investor in that or any other round. It's only the leading investor in round C. So from that information, Founders Fund is not got a controlling share in Persona. And it's Peter Thiel is only one of many investors in Founders Fund. So his connection with Persona is very indirect, and it also invests, and I've got this list, SpaceX, Facebook, PayPal, Airbnb, and then there's some other ones here. There's Nubank, Affirm, and Lyft, if you know what those are, and there's Stripe. So it's just the same thing, like I said before. Because Peter Thiel indirectly has got some fraction of a few percent, or maybe a fraction of percent share in PayPal or whatever it is that it is, it doesn't mean you can't trust your payment details with PayPal, does it? So that's the quality of reasoning. In other words, not reasoning at all. So that's it. I think I've covered everything here. Yeah, that's it. 12 minutes, not too bad. So this is just a minor, just a reminder of the short summary, which I've already been through. I don't need to read it all again. And you can go to the video description to find details and to the link to this blog post and this Substack. And you'll find that in the video details. Then you can find out more, any questions, and to ask. And you can join our Doomsday Debunked, ddebunked.org, our voluntary fact-checking group, if you got and ask questions about it too, or to help as a fact-checker. Anyway, so that'll do. I think that'll do as a debunk for that. And I'll go on to in my next video, I'm going to look at the Discord ticket system. And this is the one breach that Discord did have in October, and it was only if you asked for help with, if you contested the age verification figure that you got. If it said you're a child and you're really an adult, and you went through their ticket system. And this is very, very few people need to do that. And then I will talk about what they've done to make sure that the breach doesn't happen again. And the breach was a human error or human, possibly bribe. And with the human beings, if you go through a ticket system, you're dealing with the human being. And so Discord has to make sure that those human beings are reliable. And so I'll talk about that, and then from that you can make an informed decision if you do fail the age verification, which is very unlikely, even after uploading a clear photo ID and a good photo. Then if it still fails age verification, then you will need to make a decision. Do you go through with the ticket system? And so that's what my next video is about. But this is not very likely to happen to you.